And hello, guys. Gonna do a quick review for you because I gotta go soon. But yeah, the one I'm gonna talk about is Future Diary. And I know people have seen this before, but I just thought I'd give my view. So let's start with the basics of this. The story is it starts with the main character, and he's an observer. He doesn't socialise much. He sort of goes, he's very invisible. One of these guys you wouldn't notice if he went. And he's so lonely. He's got an imaginary. Well, he thinks it's an imaginary friend, but it turns out it's the god of time. And then he pretty much becomes into a contest where there's about 12, I think, and they sort of all have phones which can tell the future. Except one which has a manuscript type thing, but they're pretty much all phones. But they all have different kinds of future telling, and they have their advantages and disadvantages. And the reason for the god doing this is because the god of time is starting to degrade, come to the end of his life, basically. And whoever wins it becomes the god of time. So then the main girl character is Yuno Gasai. And it's basically, she's a bit of a stalker. She's sort of started following the main character, Yuki Teru. It's a hard one to say. Followed him about. And sort of basically, they become girlfriend, boyfriend. But at the start, not under. It's more to sort of save his own skin for the Yukiro guy. I mean, it's how their relationship grows and all that. That's the main sort of thing. And of course, him trying to survive and sort of not get killed by other Future Diary users. So the story is very good. I liked how the standoff between the diary users and how they had to sort of work, how they had to work against each other's future diaries and their disadvantages and stuff. But having some of them die within the 2 episodes of when they're shown. We get some who are pretty much all through the story. They sort of survive. They survive all through the story. And the main thing I liked about this was it was very human approach and all their motives, because the motives were in themselves not that bad for most of them. They were kind of human because they'd had shitty lives, or something bad had happened, and they wanted to do something to try, in a way, was a good intent, but it would be disastrous for some other people, And, they all were kind of psycho, and you got a bit of a backstory to most of them, Not every character, granted, which was a shame that, some guys I would have liked to know a bit more. But, generally some really good backstories here on the ones they needed to. So the ending of this as well was quite good. It wasn't too. It was showed 2 sides, which I liked. There's one side, a happy side to it, and there's a bit of a sadder side to it as well. But I'm not going to say why, because I don't want to spoil the ending. There was no characters in this which got on my nerves. I actually really liked the explosive one, Miyane Yuru. Who's this demolitions expert person. And then we have Tushabaki, who was this half-blind person. And she had a really tragic backstory. I felt really sorry for her. And then there's Ai Mikami and her boyfriend, who they had kind of a romantic reason for wanting to win. But yeah, very good characters, all very sort of quirky. They had their own character, which I like. The main man, but Yukareturu. I can't pronounce his name very well. Like at the start, he was your stereotypical sort of wimpy kind of guy. He wasn't particularly sort of ballsy or gutsy or anything. That was more Yuno at the start. She is the one who sort of does the killing and stuff. She's the psycho who looks after him. But I feel as the series goes, he does have some kick-ass moments, and he does generally grow as a character. He stands up for himself more. Although later on there are still moments where he seems really weak. He gradually does building strength, and he saves Yuno's lives. At some points helps her out. And there's also Kamadu, which is sort of runs an orphanage. And it's also kind of tragic. She probably was dragged up in it, and she didn't want to really be in it. And it's all very good characters. Music-wise, it has an awesome opening song. I love the opening song, and it has I can't really remember the music, which maybe shows it wasn't. I don't think it was bad music. It's just I don't think it had that much music in it. The graphics were really good. Like the fight scenes were awesome, and there was enough difference in characters. They all had their unique sort of look. And the one thing about design, it wasn't exactly. I don't know if you call it fan service or not, but there are moments where you'll see a lot of boobs. More boob naked shots than I was expecting. Mainly just of the upper bit. You don't see down there. But if you're uncomfortable with that thing, just be wary of it. It's not massive. It doesn't feel. In some bits it doesn't feel too awkward. In other bits you're like, did they have to put that in there? There's someone's past. It's kind of. There's no avoiding it because of what happened to her. It's part of the core scene, a bit of nudity, but that's the only bit which sometimes made me a bit uncomfortable watching it, but not massively. I'd still watch it because it's really good. And the main thing I gotta say is it kept me intrigued all the time. The story I didn't really get bored that much during the story, which is always good. So I would recommend watching this. It's got an awesome plot, some really fun characters in it, and it's just interesting to see how the whole relationship between Yuno and Yukiteru works out. So yeah, hope you enjoy my review, guys. Bye bye.